Well, you're here because you filled out a survey about a guy and he scored a C. In many important ways, this guy is falling short. Welcome to the Strong Brew, where you get answers to questions you're not supposed to ask. These are some things you may want to know about the man in your life. If you do really well in your career, will he become insecure? Will he try and use money to control you? Will he share housework or just make you do it all? In fights, when he gets angry, does he get aggressive? During intimacy, does he understand that no means no? Is he jealous, suspicious, or possessive? Will his attitude towards you change after having kids? Will he treat your parents with respect? What if you have conflicts with his parents? We tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. These are things nobody else will tell you, things that are important for your future. This is a safe space for truth. No judgment, no platitudes, no login, no payment either. Our questions are from real life, but our answers come from science. Now, I built this thing, me and my husband, and honestly, we built it and we live it. We are both Stanford grads, we both have worked at Google, and we've been happily together since 1998. Along the way, we've added a son, now 13, and 4 dogs. We are genuine folks. If you're a woman trying to understand any man in your life, here is how it works. Go to www.thestrongbrew.life. Click on the Understand a Guy button there. Answer 10 questions about him. Watch a video tailored to your guy. That's all there is to it. It is completely anonymous, no login, no payment, no games, no manipulation. This analysis is obtained by combining solid trait psychology with cutting edge AI ML. We represent each person's personality with what is known as a feature vector. This has 10 elements, so our data is effectively 10 dimensional data. In case you're wondering how we can infer so much from just 10 questions, well, 10 dimensional data is very complex. There is a lot you can learn from that level of detail.
Okay, I think that does it for the preamble. Now let's plunge in. Let's start with this guy in his career. Will he go far or just talk big?
He's not the type who will climb high or fast in his career. He just doesn't have the fire or drive needed for that kind of push. Even if he talks about wanting success, there's usually more talk than action. He prefers safe routines and doesn't take bold steps to get ahead.
Can he bounce back from failure?
When things go wrong at work, he tends to break down rather than bounce back. He has a short temper and might get upset or overwhelmed easily if problems come up. He won't withdraw into himself, but his reactions can feel dramatic or over the top.
What do people at work think of him? Do they like him?
Most people at work will find him pleasant on the surface because he's usually polite and friendly. He tries to get along and often acts cheerful, so he isn't someone who starts fights all the time. However, when things get tense or don't go his way, he can lose his cool and may have sudden mood swings or arguments.
If you do really well in your career, will he become insecure?
If you shine in your career, he's likely to feel both happy for you and a little uneasy at the same time. On the outside, he'll probably smile, say nice things, and try to show support because he likes to keep the peace. Be gentle, but know that you may need to reassure him more than once.
What if you start earning more than him?
If you start earning more than him, he may smile and say he's okay with it, but inside it's likely to bother him. He could feel insecure and sometimes even jealous, though he might not admit it openly. Don't be surprised if he gets moody or acts upset about small things that have nothing to do with money. It's his way of hiding how he feels.
Next, let's talk about how he is with money. Does he overspend? Is he reckless with money?
He's quite careful with money, paying attention to details and not rushing into big purchases. He likes things to be organized and predictable, so he usually plans before spending and avoids risky choices. If steady, responsible money handling is important to you, he's a good fit in this area.
Does he show off and pretend to be richer than he is?
He lives within his means and doesn't put on a show to look richer than he is. He prefers to keep things simple and well organized. Choosing safe and sensible options over flashiness, he's mostly practical and likes the security of knowing he's not spending more than he should.
Is he too generous, too stingy, or just right?
He isn't very open handed or warm hearted when it comes to giving. While he's polite and tries not to upset anyone, he tends to hold back, whether it's sharing money, time, or care. If you're looking for a partner who gives freely and is emotionally open, you might feel a bit let down.
Will he use money to try and control you?
He is generally open about money and likes to keep things clear and organized, so you won't have to worry much about hidden spending or financial secrets. He prefers to discuss things calmly and keep routines, so he'll want both of you to know where money is going. If you have a question or want to talk about expenses, he's likely to listen, though sometimes in a very matter of fact way.
Let's see how this guy is with sharing housework. Will he share housework or just make you do it?
He believes in routines and order, so he feels housework shouldn't fall on just one person. He's likely to see it as something both partners should help with to keep things tidy and running smoothly. Don't be surprised if he steps in to do his part, often sticking closely to set habits and rules.
Will he help you or just boss you around and tell you what to do?
He's the type who will actually help with chores and diapers, not just watch while you do the work. He likes things neat and has his own way of doing tasks, so you might find him jumping in to keep everything in order. Sometimes he may be a bit fussy about how things are done, but at least he won't expect you to handle it all alone.
Now let's see about how this guy is during fights. In fights, does he try to understand your views or just win the fight?
Most of the time, he's more focused on proving his point than truly understanding where you're coming from. In arguments, he can get very emotional and may raise his voice or insist he's right, even if it means not really listening to your view. He finds it hard to put himself in your shoes and often gets stuck on his own perspective.
Does he become aggressive when angry?
When he gets angry, he may struggle to stay calm and respectful. His temper can flare up quickly, leading him to say things that are hurtful or even lash out with harsh words. While he usually tries to be polite in normal situations, anger tends to bring out his worst side.
Does he have a bad temper?
Yes, he does get angry very quickly, and this is not a small thing to brush aside. Quick anger can lead to arguments, harsh words, and a stressful home, even if he's polite the rest of the time. You deserve peace, not constant tension, so think carefully before moving forward.
Will he say sorry and accept his mistakes?
He finds it difficult to say sorry and truly take responsibility for his actions. More often, when there's a problem, he's quick to blame you or something else, rather than admit he was wrong. He may argue or make excuses, trying to shift the focus away from his own mistakes.
Next, let's talk about intimacy and physical chemistry. During intimacy, does he respect your boundaries? Does he get that no means no?
He might be polite on the surface, but he often struggles with understanding deep or serious boundaries, especially when emotions are running high. If you clearly say no, he may push back, argue, or try to convince you to change your mind rather than respecting your decision straight away. You may find yourself explaining your needs more than once.
If you are not in the mood for intimacy, will he react badly?
Yes, he is likely to take it personally if you're not in the mood for intimacy. Instead of understanding your feelings, he might act hurt or even get irritated, believing your no is about him rather than your own needs. Over time, this can put pressure on you and create tension in your relationship.
Can you trust him not to shame you or share your private moments, maybe love letters, photos, or videos, even after a breakup or a bad fight?
It's wise to be a bit cautious here. When things are going well, he can seem respectful, but if he gets upset, there's a chance he might bring up private moments in arguments or use them to make a point. Because he gets emotional and struggles to take responsibility for his actions, he may say things just to win an argument, even if it hurts you.
Is he loyal or is he likely to want to have affairs?
He is generally not the type to be easily distracted by other women or go looking for attention outside the relationship. His style is to stick to routines and familiar things, which includes being steady in relationships. If faithfulness gives you peace of mind, he offers that security.
Will he be jealous, suspicious, and try to control you?
He can be a bit controlling, mainly because he likes things to be done his way and get upset when they're not. However, he isn't usually the kind to become extremely jealous or suspicious without a reason. His focus is more on order and routines than on checking up on you all the time.
This guy says he is protective in a good way. Is he actually just being possessive?
Yes, with him, what feels like being protective may actually come from a controlling side. He likes things done a certain way and gets upset if routines are not followed, which can show up as fussing over your choices or telling you what's best. While he may say he's looking out for you, his real aim is often to keep things in order or stick to his own rules. Over time, this can feel less like care and more like being bossed around.
Now, onto the topic of kids and how this guy will be as a father. If you guys have kids, will he make you do most of the work?
He will see parenting as something both parents should help with, not just your job alone. He likes routines and order, so he'll want to be involved in making sure everything runs smoothly for the children. However, his help may be more about tasks and less about emotional bonding.
Kids are very messy. Will he lose his temper with them?
He is likely to lose his temper when the kids mess up or get upset rather than stay calm and understanding. Small mistakes or chaos can quickly frustrate him, and he may raise his voice, scold, or say things sharply. If patience and gentle handling matter to you, this is an important point to think about.
If you guys have kids, will he still support your career?
He may help with household duties and routines, but truly supporting you as both a mother and your own person can be difficult for him. He prefers order and things his way, which sometimes means he focuses more on daily tasks than on understanding your dreams and needs outside of family life. If you want to grow in your career, hobbies, or just need me time, he may not always understand or encourage it as much as you hope.
Will this man say one thing early on, maybe while dating, and then later, after kids and marriage, change his tune and try to make you give up your career?
Yes, he could be the kind of man who supports your career in the beginning, but expects you to step back or quit once you have a child. While he might encourage your work when it fits nicely into the routine, his focus on order and traditional roles can come out strongly when family life changes. If your career is important to you, it's wise to discuss this clearly now and watch out for signs that his support depends on circumstances.
Next, let's see how this guy treats your parents. Will he be respectful with your parents?
He's likely to be polite and well mannered with your parents, but real warmth may not come easily to him. He will do what's expected, greet them nicely, help out when needed, and behave properly during visits. However, deeper affection or genuine closeness might be missing, and you may notice that his kindness feels a bit formal or routine rather than heartfelt. He will likely expect your family to adjust to his ways rather than making big changes himself.
What if your family creates stress or interferes a bit in your lives?
If your family creates stress or interferes, he's more likely to react with frustration and lose his temper rather than handle it calmly. He doesn't do well in messy or tense situations, and his first response can be sharp words or visible annoyance. Be prepared. You might end up playing the peacekeeper yourself.
Then let's analyze the role this guy's family will play in your life. Is this man modern with you but a completely different person when other people, say his parents or bosses, are around?
Yes, he is likely to show a modern and friendly side with you in private, but expect you to be a traditional, supportive wife when his relatives are around. He values order and sticking to social rules, so he may want you to dress, act, and speak a certain way in front of his family, even if he's more relaxed at home. This can feel confusing or unfair, being one person with him and another in public.
If there is tension between you and his parents, will he support you?
If there's tension, especially with his family or relatives, he's more likely to stay out of it or quietly take their side rather than openly supporting you. He aims for order and peace, so he may avoid conflict by letting things go or agreeing with his family's way of doing things. Even if he doesn't argue with you, you could feel left alone during tough times, having to defend yourself without much backup.
Say you have a conflict with his mother. What will this guy do?
He does have strong ties to his routines and family traditions, so he may act like a mummy's boy, especially when his mother is involved. In a conflict between you and his mother, he will find it very hard to choose your side openly. Even if he cares about you, his loyalty to his family, rules, and desire for harmony can leave you feeling unsupported.
Will he share all the private details of your relationship with his mother or sister?
Yes, he is likely to share details of your fights or private matters with his mother or sister, especially when he feels upset or confused. He turns to them for comfort or advice, often without thinking about how this affects your privacy. When trust and discretion are missing, it becomes hard to build a strong partnership.
Now let's zoom out and put it all together.
So that's the story. This guy scores a C. In many important ways, this guy is falling short of the standard we would want. Day in and day out, being with this man can feel steady but also emotionally draining. Your home will be organized and routines will run smoothly, but there won't be much openness, warmth, or deep connection.